For centuries, tales of monstrous, half-human beasts have haunted our history. In Europe, the werewolf, a cursed soul, doomed to transform beneath the full moon, was feared as a creature of darkness. In North America, legends spoke of the Dogman, something older, something born, not cursed. Tribes warned of its presence. Settlers whispered of glowing eyes in the woods. And even today, the sightings continue. Are these stories simply fear woven into folklore? Or do they hint at something real? Something that has always been watching from the shadows? Beast of Bray Road.
There's not a good opportunity to explain it away rationally.
It's like a ghost. I mean, it's there and then it's gone.
Not everybody, but many of the farmers have seen it, but they will not talk about it. They will not talk about it.
Werewolf.
Just outside the small town of Elkhorn, Wisconsin, there's a stretch of road where the trees grow close, and the fog settles thick on cold nights. It's called Bray Road. On the surface, it looks like any other back road. Quiet, empty, unremarkable. But for decades, people around here have told a different story. A story about something watching from the shadows. Something big. Something with eyes that shine like burning coals. They call it the Beast of Bray Road.
The Beast of Bray Road, as far as we know, is supposed to be a 6 to 7 foot tall, upright canine, dogman, werewolf type creature that walks on two legs. That when it's on two legs, it looks like it's gliding, but when it's on all fours, it's really fast. Those are the descriptions some of the witnesses have given us.
The first official report started in the late 1980s. People driving down Bray Road at night saw something strange on the side of the road. A figure hunched low, its hands clawing at something in the dirt. When the headlights hit it, it looked up, and it wasn't a dog. Witnesses described it as tall and powerful, with pointed ears, a long snout, and glowing eyes that locked onto them with an unsettling focus. Some drove away as fast as they could. Others weren't so lucky. As the sightings increased, local journalist Linda Godfrey began documenting the stories. She didn't expect much at first, but the more she listened, the harder it became to dismiss.
Linda Godfrey.
So the Beast of Bray Road legend began in late December of 1991 with a sighting that was covered by Linda Godfrey, who was a writer and a cartoonist for The Week. When she started interviewing the eyewitnesses, she found that more eyewitnesses came forward. When she talked to someone at Lakeland Animal Shelter, she found that this person actually had a file on these beast sightings that they reported to her. So that's kind of when the beast craze began. So with the nature of the beast and the uniqueness of the story, it really set off a huge craze. And Linda, doing more and more research, turned up other similar stories from all over the region, as far north as Jefferson and in Beloit and all over the place. So she seemed to detect a pattern that maybe this creature had been around for a long time. I don't think the legend would be the legend without Linda.
Supernatural.
Well, besides the beast, Elkhorn is the county seat of Walworth County. And the other interesting thing about us is we're known as the Christmas card town. Throughout the 50s and 60s, if you bought a Christmas card, there was a good chance your Christmas card featured Elkhorn. The city got in on it. We had Beast t-shirts. We had a Lakeland Bakery back then cooking Beast of Bray Road cookies.
Elkhorn.
Descriptions vary, but most say it looks like a cross between a wolf and a man. tall, broad-shouldered, and able to walk upright. It's been spotted crouching near the roadside, stalking the woods, even chasing after cars. It's a story passed down from locals, hunters, and travelers who swore they saw it with their own eyes. Some call it folklore. Others think it's something else. Either way, one thing is certain. Once you hear the stories, you'll never see those back roads the same way again.
Actually, the first sighting was in the fall of 1989, and that was Lori Andreezy, and that also generated the famous picture that Linda drew of the beast that appeared in the week, the classic where it's on its knees holding fresh roadkill up to its mouth. Then she interviewed Doris Gibson, who saw it of all times on Halloween night of October of 91. And she said that she saw it on the side of the road, kind of leering at her.
We actually heard the howl of this thing, which everybody that I've let listen to this howl, they all agree that it sounds like a man screaming in this field that we were in. A day after we heard that howl, a state worker contacted me and told me his story of being parked on Bray Road. Him and his buddy were out there to fix the wires. They get out of the car and they hear the same thing that we heard in the middle of the day. So it was really like the same kind of, how he described it was like a wild pig sound, like that didn't pitch. It was very monotone, but just kept going. This howl kept going. And that's exactly what we heard.
I've seen the Beast of Bray Road 3 times. May 5th, 2017, I pulled out of my driveway at 10:30 at night, and I was going to Lake Geneva. And I looked down the road, and here on the side of the road was 2 glowing orangish red eyes looking at me. I knew immediately it was not a deer or coyote, and that's the only thing that would be that tall here. So I knew right away I was looking at the Beast of Bray Road. Immediately I went down the embankment, and the embankment was 4.5 feet deep. And he's looking over the top at me with these glowing, luminous, orangish red eyes. You know? Immediately, he was 15, 20 feet out in the field. He turned, and again, the orangish glowing, orangish red eye glowing. And immediately, another 15, 20 feet, he was out in the field. This creature had orangish red eyes that glowed.
And there was a story, I don't remember the name, but the creature actually they got out of the car and the creature approached them. They jumped in the car and drove off, and it actually scratched the back of their car, and they were able to point to the scratch marks.
So a couple said that they were driving down Bray Road. They saw this huge black mass, a massive creature running alongside their car, like 50 miles an hour. And so that they said, wow, I think we just saw the Beast of Bray Road. We didn't know what it was, but we thought maybe it could have been that. A gentleman said that he was driving down, I guess, I don't think it was on Bray Road, but it was nearby that area. He saw this thing cross the road, about the fourth part of the road, a third of the road. And the way this thing walked, he said, had a really strange gait to it on all 4 legs. And then it went under the bridge and disappeared. He went to go look for it and couldn't find it.
Supernatural.
Well, coming up Bowers Road, 2 of my neighbors were standing out in the driveway by their barn. I pull in. I said, "What are you guys doing?" They said, "Oh, we're just hanging out." I said, "You go and watch the Bears play the Packers?" No, our wives watch it. We don't watch it. I said, "You help load 600 bales." Hey, it was, "Oh yeah, we'll come down. We'll help you load it, Lee." I said, "I can't get help." No, you're not going to get help today, you know. So we loaded 600 bales. I bought them a case of Coors. We're in Wisconsin. And we were standing right at that west end of the barn, right down there. And looking out, and the one gentleman who lives about a mile down the road said, "You know, Lee, the werewolf lives back on your property." And I go, "What are you talking about? The werewolf lives back on my property?" He's, no, my wife saw it with my mother-in-law. Mike has seen it. I said, "Mike, he farmed with me. He saw it on Bray Road in 1999. My wife saw it in 2010. This farmer here saw it, and this farmer here saw it." And he's telling me all these farmers that have seen it. I said, why doesn't anybody tell you? He said, nobody will talk about it. No, we won't talk. Nobody will talk about it. Nobody's going to tell you.
Wisconsin.
What is it about Bray Road that draws people back to this story? Is it curiosity, fear, or something deeper? A feeling we can't quite explain but can't shake either.
Bray Road runs west to east, and some of the other roads that match up to it, like Hospital Road, which goes back to the south toward the county offices and the Aurora Hospital, they're all kind of remote. They're definitely outside of town and again, farmland. Bray Road itself is mostly private property. It's farmland and residences. On a pretty day, you'd never think that anyone would ever see a monster on it. On a cloudy day or a dark day or on a full moon, it could be possible.
From Bray Road over to the quarry, we saw a big cutout going to the quarry. So we think something is living in the quarry. It's got a food source. There's a water source. It's got shelter. Maybe it's in a cave in the quarry. I don't know.
And I ran 30 feet from him and looked at him. And he said he didn't. I said, "Did it have oranges, red eyes?" He said, "I don't know." He said, that thing was looking at me, and I don't know. It was huge. I jumped back inside, The horse boarders, they came out in 2022, October 2022. We're driving down the road at 10:30 at night, and it crossed the road right in front of them, right by that creek right there. These are like 7 feet tall and crossed the road right in front.
The Beast of Bray Road might be a myth. It might be a misidentified animal. Or it might be something that doesn't fit neatly into either category. But the people who've seen it, they don't forget. Not the eyes, not the size, and definitely not the feeling of being watched.
Well, we had a town hall meeting where over 140 people showed up to tell their story of seeing this creature. So there is definitely something out there, and that's the thing, nobody could really pinpoint what it is.
I think that's another unique component about the legend, is that nobody, I think, knows what it is. There is belief that maybe it's some sort of
a demonic being or ghost
or something that can materialize or dematerialize at will. There's all kinds of conspiracies about maybe secret cults that are in collusion with it. It's an interesting, unexplained mystery that's right here in our backyard. And so I think we've really embraced it as an element of our local folklore.
It's an unknown. It's an unknown creature. I mean, it's an unknown cryptid.
I have pictures of it appearing in front of my camera. It's not there, and then 1 second it's fully there. So it certainly has supernatural powers.
I think it's manipulating the trail cams. I think it's manipulating any kind of photographic evidence.
And of all the places for it to haunt, southeastern rural Wisconsin would be the last place you'd think. So I think that's kind of the appeal of the legend.
But there is a 7-foot-tall Dogman walking around on my property and the neighbor's property out here.
So if you ever find yourself driving down Bray Road late at night, keep your eyes on the tree line. Don't slow down. Don't stop. And if you do see something move just beyond the reach of your headlights, don't look too long. Let all who travel here beware the Beast of Bray Road.